Astronauts to the moon.
10, 9, ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Welcome to reality.
What's going on, everyone? It's Jaronism, here with another video for you today. Looking at NASA and their glaring mistakes that as a human race, meaning together, we should all recognize as having a potential to mislead us. Does this activity or does that activity have a potential to deceive me? And if there is a chance, even the slightest chance, that we have the duty to double check it and to verify it. And if there is no chance, then believe it. I get frustrated when people say things like this can be faked. How can that be faked? Look very carefully, look really closely, and you can clearly see that those clouds are nothing more than satellite wait, oops. And when things really look wrong, what are we supposed to do then when everything is starting to look and sound fake? Is everything a trick? Is it all a big deception? Where does it end? Where does it begin? I mean, is it this easy to deceive us? Where do we turn when the lines between reality and a big stage become too blurry to even tell?
You looked around at this flat, beautiful land. This location is almost optimal for solar power generation. And not only because it's flat, transmission lines were already here, the sun is traveling, and there's no haze, and it's absolutely clear.
Oh yeah, it's clear. The sun travels over the flatness. My man. Oh, finally getting it.
Yeah, if these guys were around when Columbus set sail, they'd be charter members of the Flat Earth Society. The
Columbus joke? Again? You've already said that one. Man, senioritis, or what do they call it now? Puppet speak.
The current members of the Flat Earth Society in Congress, and again, I just want everybody to be clear, because sometimes when you listen to the news and you listen to some of these other politicians, they seem a little bit confused about what I'm saying. You know, the current members of the Flat Earth Society in Congress, you know, they seem a little bit confused about what I'm saying. If some of these folks were around when Columbus set sail, they must have been founding members of the Flat Earth Society. They would not have believed that the world was round. If I say that the world is round and someone else says it's flat, that's worth reporting. But you might also want to report on a bunch of scientific evidence that seems to support the notion that the world is round.
That seems to support the notion that the world is round. Well, let's look into that sentence for just a second here. So this evidence seems, that's kind of like kinda, or appears to point to, or might be right. And notion is a conception or a belief about something, an impulse or desire, especially one of a whimsical kind. Whimsical? Like, I don't know, people living on a spinning ball, perhaps? That's pretty whimsical. Flying 66,000 miles per hour around a sun 93 million miles away. What are some of the synonyms? Idea, belief, conviction, opinion, view, thought, impression, perception, impulse, inclination, whim, desire, wish, or fancy. Well, teaching it in school and from a textbook and making jokes of its opponents doesn't make it true. It makes it a dogma. It makes it a religion.
A bunch of scientific evidence that seems to support the notion that the world is round.
Something smells terrible. Next we got Tim Peake aboard the ISS. Yeah, good one, 250 miles above the Earth. Let's see, any potential for being deceived here?
Well, there we can see Tim Peake on the big Sky News wall. I have a form of words that I have to use so that he knows it's us. Station, this is Sky News London. How do you hear me?
Breaker, breaker, one liar. Do you copy? Can you read me at your staggering distance of 250 miles?
Tim, you spend a lot of your time in the Columbus module there, the European Space Agency's laboratory. Just explain to us the kind of experiments you're doing up there when we don't see you performing in front of camera like this.
Huge delay. This transmission travels 250 miles, so of course you must wait 10 seconds. It can't be helped. You ever tried to talk to somebody 250 miles away?
We're working, 12, 14-hour days, Monday through Friday.
Next comes a pretty important part. A girl has designed this physics experiment for Tim to do on the air, but unfortunately it can't be done live. Why? Well, you see, I'm asked daily, where's your proof? And you're about to see a great example of something that A, makes no sense on the space station, period, and B, is the kind of thing that is screaming scam. It's like, look up here, look up here, look up here, I'm a hoax, look up here. But if you look and look, I'm sure you'll find something, someone, somewhere, to back your unfalsifiable science. That's the point. Your so-called science is unfalsifiable. For examples of that, see everything Red's Rhetoric has ever said.
Now, Tim, you've also been doing some demonstrations for science students, and one of those science students is Emily. Now, you've got some kit there that you actually designed for Tim, really to just show how difficult it is to demonstrate physics here on Earth. And it's a track and a ball. Just show us what actually happens there. And gravity's really just pulling that ball back down. Now, Tim has actually done the same experiment. You weren't able to do it live, but we've got the video of you demonstrating what happens when you're in microgravity with exactly the same kit. We don't seem to have the video, unfortunately, but the ball does continue all the way around. Just explain, Tim, what's happening.
Yeah, liar. It's just a tiny little track and a ball, and you can't do it live? Why, Tim? I'm calling hoax.
Yes, again, it's one of the phenomena of microgravity. It's a wonderful environment to demonstrate some of those basic scientific principles.
Oh, is that right? It's one of the phenomena of microgravity. It's a wonderful environment to demonstrate some of those basic scientific principles, but not live. Then you'd see I'm a lying piece of shit. And look what we have behind him. It's the blue checkered backdrop screen, the one Bob and I mentioned on Globebusters and got trashed for it. I mean, come on, people. You can't put a ball on a track on live TV, and I'm supposed to believe him? Not a chance. You want people to believe you, go through my comments and look at the thousands of comments from people saying I'm an idiot. They trust you, Tim. They think you're going to Mars. They think we landed on the moon. How can anyone see this footage and not say, oh damn, those clowns have been faking space? But you can bet people will say, he was doing experiments earlier, he had to put them away. He couldn't carry both the track and the ball over. He didn't do it live because the time constraints. Ask Red's Rhetoric, and you'll get every possible answer, including it fell out of the window, before he dare say, yeah, that's weird. That's unfalsifiable. Not science. It's called bullshit. Let's see what the kids got to say.
Kevin, you got one on there, didn't you? You asked your question about, what was it, about how many galaxies? What did you make of the answer?
I thought it's very surprising that there's more than 1 billion galaxies out there.
And he said there were more than grains of sand on the Earth. I mean, can you even imagine that many things?
Yeah.
It's hard to imagine, isn't it?
More than the Sahara Desert.
And you must be interested in space already because you're here today at the Space Centre, but has this made you more interested?
Yes, very.
You going to be an astronaut?
Maybe.
Of course you are.
Hey, the kid said maybe. Of course you are. That's not right. Anyway, next he heads over to the coolest kid ever. He talks to some kid whose mom is indoctrinating him with a space uniform, and he's probably the smartest kid of all time. Let's listen in.
Let's speak to this guy here. Hello. Do you enjoy that?
Yes.
You look like an astronaut. Are you going to be an astronaut?
No.
Why not?
That kid's saying, did either of you two watch the screen?
Doesn't fancy it. Okay, well,
He just had to fake a physics experiment by pre-recording it in front of a blue screen. Hello. Next we got some very strange Apollo 10 footage. Enjoy.
Then we watched as they pulled free of the S-4B and got our first live color pictures of the blue planet Earth.
Charlie, this is it's so hard to describe. You can go right up past Alaska and you can see the polar caps. It's incredible.
Well, we see it all here, Gene. Its colors are really beautiful.
That's great. And the blackest black that you ever could conceive is the setting for all this.
Right.
So Stafford, Young, and Cernan began their coast away from Earth, their speed continually dropping as the arms of Earth's gravity tried to pull them back.
Roger, Houston, we are returning to the Earth. Over.
Glad to have you on the way back home, 10.
For the last time, Apollo 10 watched the sapphire called Earth rise over a stark lunar horizon. And as they had throughout the mission, Stafford, Young, and Cernan shared with us the sights and feelings of their voyage through color television.
You guys are really hauling the mail out of there.
Oh, you better believe it. It's like we're climbing straight out, Joe. It's a fantastic sight. It's like we were shot straight out from the center of the moon.
You're going about 6,000 feet a second.
As the crew of Apollo 10 hurtled earthward, they decided to perform one more test.
Now, hold on a second. This image on the left is the one coming back, and the image on the right is the one going. And it's been like 5 or 6 days, and I'm pretty sure that's the same Earth.
Okay, John, you're into about 5 feet, babe. Looking beautiful.
Now, does this disprove the moon landings? Of course not. Does it prove the presence of styrofoam in space? Of course. Now watch carefully at the 2 lines coming from the engine area, lens flares, and then the holographic flicker. Watch again. What is that?
We had a smoother ride after that. It was once the SRBs were gone.
50 nautical miles.
And then we hit the 50 nautical mile point. And that's the point.
Yeah, you're cool. Throw Satan's sign up. I'm real impressed.
Open the Palo Bay doors and we were off and running.
There's so much reality right here. I mean, look at that. I mean, look how the shadow falls perfectly and exactly like it would on a 17,000 mile per hour orbiter. Or the shadow doesn't move at all. It's really like one or the other. I mean, this looks so real. What idiot questions this obvious reality? It's so real. I mean, look at this. Look at how the model has its reflection on the Earth. I mean, my bad, not the model, the I don't know, the space shuttle glider pretend thing. You know, whatever they call it, the make-believe fantasy plane. Look at the ripples in the clouds from the STS-BS Supreme. The thing they say it flies in space on its hind legs. Oh, there's the ISS, the orbiting space station. It's so real. I mean, I can see it on TV, and I can see it with my telescope. How could they ever deceive me with that? I'm way too smart. Oh, here's proof of the docking. This is absolute proof. It's video evidence. There's the docking. You can tell it's space because it's black. Hello, what do you think they did? Put a sheet behind it? Jeez. Go back to 2nd grade. Get a physics book. My goodness.
And it's time to cram us into the airlock. But before that, we always indulge in a few pagan rites to appease the EVA gods.
Ooh, worship Satan, worship Satan. Oh, pagan rites, these clowns. You guys think you're special, huh? Satan loves us. Lucifer's the god of this world. We do silly hand signs and pretend we're in space. Losers. And if you pay attention here, you'll see how NASA's starting to save a little bit of money. They are now creating the hatch door out of baloney. So that's always helpful. And now we get to see some amazing views and scientifically proven events. Up in the vacuum of space, you see some various views of Earth, different colors, all very real, of course. They wouldn't fake it. These guys are now throwing nuts in each other's mouths and disappearing nuts, of course, not just regular kind. And we finished it off with more Satan worship. How about that? Damn, my 15 minutes are up already. Tons of videos coming, guys. Eclipses, simple proofs, more fun. But please remember to do your own research. Remember, I could be wrong, and we might be on a spinning ball. So, fell off my chair. That spin is atrocious. Hey, be kind. Don't lie. And open up your mind. There's truth inside. This has been Jeranism. Till next time.